Who could the leaker be? Yeah, because if it's somebody who's not necessarily on our side all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's certain people, like Lindsey Graham hates you all the time.
Yeah.
He's not going to leak anything.
That wouldn't seem to be.
Here's the first thing you need to know. Look at the middle TV here, and you'll see Fox News, and you see who's on TV.
Yeah. Karl Rove.
Karl Rove. Mm-hmm. You need to know that, first of all, Karl Rove is the Iran in this scenario. Okay? Karl Rove is the guy who is absolutely the head of the snake for this big progressive GOP, let's keep the incumbents in. And remember, Karl Rove is the guy who everybody is mad at. He's out of the job, remember. Remember he spent everybody's money?
Yeah, a lot of people, the big money is mad at him, is what you're
there's
saying.
There's nothing that makes a billionaire more angry than somebody saying, listen, I've got the answer. I'm going to solve all of this. All you have to do is give me, $10 million and I'll solve it. And then he doesn't solve it. That's the problem. So he's made all of these millionaires and billionaires pissed at him. I've met a lot of them that gave a lot of money, and they're like, I can't take Karl Rove. So Karl Rove has got to take out anybody else who has a competing vision. He's got to take out the Freedom Works. He's got to blame it on them. Mm-hmm. You know who causes this problem? It's Freedom Works. You know who caused this problem? The Senate conservatives. That's what the deal is. This is all about Karl Rove and his little plan. And Karl Rove and his allies. And anybody, you've got to do your own homework here. Who is Karl Rove working with? Who is Karl Rove? Who is propping him up? Who is helping him? Mm-hmm. Who in the Senate is a Karl Rove buddy? Because Karl Rove is the one who is, there's another one, and I'm not going to get into him today, but there is another one that we will be talking about that is also a real problem. He's the guy who is the real problem with the GOP when it comes to the Muslim Brotherhood. He's the guy responsible for most of the Muslim Brotherhood problems in the GOP. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to know. These guys are in with the Karl Roves of the world, and that's what this is about. When you look at Ted Cruz, why are they coming after Ted? Why do they hate him so much? Try to figure this one out. Why do they hate him so much? Why are the Republicans coming after this guy so hard? Well, Ted Cruz is from Texas. Who else is from Texas?
John Cornyn.
Karl Rove.
Karl Rove.
Mm-hmm. Well, the whole Bush.
Oh, yeah.
The whole Bush family.
So, from Texas, Karl Rove. Pat, how many billionaires did we sit with? How many millionaires from Texas did we sit with? Where they all said, no, you don't know. You don't know Carl's machine. Yeah. You don't know what he's built. That's not going to happen.
Does Ted Cruz have a chance?
No
he doesn't
way.
have a chance. You're barking up the wrong tree there.
I'm putting all of my money in.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why you've got to take out Ted Cruz is because Ted Cruz has just proven that if you just shoot straight, you are who you say you are, you just talk about the Constitution and actually believe it, it doesn't matter how many millionaires and billionaires are on your side. The people will come rallying to you. And then what happens? If you actually go to Washington and you actually do what you tell the American people you're going to do, you're out of control. Wait a minute. We've lost control on everything. We've lost control of the way to get people elected. We've lost control because he doesn't want our money, nor does he need our money. And he's actually going to listen to the American people instead of us. That guy's got to be stopped. That's what's happening. That's why people I don't know what happened to Peter King. I've always respected Peter King. Now, maybe I've been wrong, but I've always respected him. You know, Peter King, what's really interesting about Peter King, wasn't Peter King one of the first people when the NSA came out, all of a sudden to come out and say, hey, there's nothing wrong with the NSA spying on people. They're not doing any of that.
I believe, yeah, he was on that side of the argument.
And that was one of the first times I ever saw Peter King where I was like, wait a minute, what? What was that? What's that, Peter? And now look at Peter is leading this. Peter has become the Anthony Weiner. Do you remember Do you remember when Anthony Weiner was in Congress and all of a sudden he started leading these investigations on us and Goldline and everything else? Remember that? Mm-hmm. He was the attack dog for the real powers. And that's what Peter King has become. Peter King has become, I mean, I'm not saying that he's doing a selfie, and please, Peter, don't. But he's become the Anthony Weiner attack dog for the progressive right. He's doing the bidding of whom, Pete? Who are you working for? Who is promising you something? Because Peter now has become this attack dog. And this is all about the control of the Republican Party. Listen to me carefully. You're about to win. And I've been saying that now for a while, but I know it to be true. You're about to win. These guys are in full-fledged panic. And this is all about the next election. They've got to destroy Ted Cruz, and then Mike Lee will be next. The last thing that can happen is to get another Ted Cruz in there. Louis Gohmert, I would ask you to pray. I'm not talking to Louis, I'm talking to you. Pray that miracles happen, and if Louis Gohmert is supposed to run, that he runs against Cornyn. There is no reason we have Cornyn in. You imagine having Ted Cruz and Louis Gohmert in the U.S. Senate, how afraid they'd be then? Because Louis not afraid, Ted's not afraid, Mike's not afraid, and that's what they fear. Because we're not voting them out, we're voting the people like Lindsey Graham out first. So you want to know how to help? This is how you do it. You click on the red contribute button at freedomworks.org and you contribute. Click on the red contribute button. It's on the upper right-hand corner, freedomworks.org, or you can call them 888-564-6273 and contribute. The other one that has been named, as I told you today, by Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell comes out and says, if you are standing with these guys, if you take $1, you are an enemy of the Senate, you're an enemy of mine, and an enemy of the GOP. The other one is the one that was started by Jim DeMint. Now, I don't know about you, but I trust Jim DeMint over Mitch McConnell. If Mitch McConnell and the other guy who is yet unnamed, because I don't have a name yet, but I think I know who it is, if these two say you're a traitor to the Republican Party, if you're involved with either of these organizations, there's your roadmap. There's your roadmap. Don't give a dime to the GOP. Give it to these two organizations, FreedomWorks and the SenateConservatives.com. I think I'm going to tell another story today. I think I'm going to tell another story. I told you during the election, there is something big going on that I can't tell you about right now, but I want you to remember that I told you at one point. The biggest story in politics is happening right now. And I didn't tell you because it was happening. Because if it was found out, I think it would have destroyed the freedom movement. It would have, the GOP tried to destroy it, and they lost. But there were several days when everybody on this set that was following it closely thought, we are doomed. We're doomed. And it was destroyed. And I told you there will come a day when I'm ready to tell you that story. I think that day may be today. If it's not today, it'll be tomorrow. But I would contribute today to the SenateConservatives.com or to FreedomWorks.org.